Welcome to the Psychology World podcast with me, Connor Whiteley, psychology student and international best-selling psychology author of over 30 psychology books, bringing you the latest psychology news, fascinating psychology topics and more each week. If you want to learn more, then please check out connorwhiteley.net/books. And don't forget to like and subscribe to the YouTube video or follow on your favourite podcast app. And here's the show. Hi everyone, welcome to episode 246 of the Psychology World podcast with me, Con Whiteley. And today's episode is on how can family therapy help adult children and parents. It is the 21st of December 2023 as I record this. So Happy New Year everyone, and I hope that you had a wonderful festive break and that you had a great night last night, like or whatever you were doing. Well, I had no idea what my New Year's plans were, but I know that I would have enjoyed it. So because I'm recording this so early, I don't have a psychology news section to actually report on. But as always, I always love to hear your thoughts and feelings on today's episode. So you can always email me, connorwhiteley@connorwhiteley.net. You can always leave contact the show notes at connorwhiteley.net/podcast. And you can also tweet me on Twitter at sci-fi whiteley. I always love to hear from all of you because it really helps make the podcast feel more like a conversation. And you can always comment on the Facebook post at Connor Whiteley, psychology author. So today's episode has been sponsored by one of my most favourite things ever, the Psychology Worlds magazine. Now I flat out love this magazine project. I just absolutely love it. Love it though. So what the Psychology Worlds magazine is that it's this brilliant magazine which I put out monthly, and it includes 5 psychology articles, which are the blog posts from previous podcast episodes, and I put 2 psychology books in it, and it's done in this 8-inch by 10-inch magazine, so it looks like a magazine. And if you get the print option, well, it contains adverts of the different books. It also includes introductions, and I just love it. And the print version is also done in a 2-column bit, so this looks exactly like a magazine, and I flat out love it. It's a really fun project. No one else actually does this, so it's a quite unique, and I just think it's so much fun and it's so much joy. And to be honest, for you readers, it's an absolute bargain compared to buying the psychology books individually. So if you want to learn tons of great psychology bits of information without paying an absolute fortune, then definitely check out the Psychology Worlds magazine. And to be honest, it's just so much fun. I love it. And the books actually look brilliant. Yeah, but brilliant though. So by the end of this year, it would be issue 24. Yeah, but a 24 though, because because this is the second year of the magazine, and lots of people have been enjoying it. It's a popular, and people love learning from them. So I hope that you check it out too. So that's the Psychology World magazine, available from all major ebook retailers, and you can order the paperback version from Amazon, your local bookstore, or local library if you request it. So whilst buying books, or in this case, the Psychology World magazine, so whilst that helps to support the creation and the editing of the podcast, my time is sponsored by my wonderful patrons. And as always, a massive thank you to my wonderful patrons, because your support shows that you like the show and you want it to continue. So if you wanted to become a patron and get tons of great rewards, then you now can at patrons.com/the Psychology World podcast. Or you can buy me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/Con Whiteley. So that's enough for the personal update. Let's move on to the content part of today's episode. So we're moving on to the content part of today's episode. So we're going to be talking about how can family therapy help adult children and parents. So this is a great episode that is absolutely perfect for a New Year's Day because it's nice and gentle, but it's also allows you to learn stuff and maybe even kickstart the new year with some of your own ideas. A lot of psychology students and some psychology professionals might not believe that family therapy could be useful for adult children and parents. This is mainly because whenever we think about family therapy, we all imagine parents trying and struggling to raise young children, control their behaviour, and they want some sort of normality in their family relationships. Whilst this is true to some extent, family therapy still has a lot to offer parents and children in adulthood because family therapy works within the family system, something that still exists in adulthood, as well as the longest period of parenthood is actually parenting an adult child that wants a close, loving relationship with their parents, so family therapy can make perfect sense for adult children. Family therapy breaks old cycles. One of the major benefits of family therapy for adult children and parents is that both of them can hit the same pain points and have the exact same arguments time and time again. For example, if an adult child and their parents used to fight about their fashion sense as a teenager, and they're still having the same arguments now. Also, if a parent knows that their child gets hurt by talking of a passed away pet, and they always use that to shut them down, and vice versa about a parent's pain point. If this happens, then the adult child and parent often feel like they're trying to solve everything on their own, but this is next to impossible because most of the time the adult child and parent won't see their own faulty communication patterns as well as our maladaptive patterns of behaviour. Therefore, family therapy can be useful by identifying these old cycles of behaviour and find new ways to respond. This helps the adult child and parent to resolve any issues, and the therapy gives clients new tools for addressing any future arguments that will inevitably pop up. Family therapy helps to manage stresses. Some families that go to a family therapy are the sort of families that work together well until something new happens. For example, a loss of a loved one, a loss of a job, or an injury, or something else that's brand new. This can even include a new romantic partner entering the adult child life, or a parent dating for that matter. As a result, when these changes happen, some families struggle to adapt to these changes, and this is where conflict occurs. Therefore, family therapy can be useful in helping both the parents and the adult child to manage their pitfalls and these new dynamics, so the chance of conflict is greatly reduced. And if we connect to the last point, then family therapy is useful here because the client will still have brand new tools to address these issues. Family therapy helps recreate outdated family roles. This is something I think all families have to do because we're aware that a parent's role changes throughout the lifespan of their child. For example, when they're really young, the parent has to control all aspects of the baby or toddler's life for their own safety. Of course, that's a bit simplified, but I think it's largely true. Then, in adolescence, the parent starts worrying even more because the child is more independent as they go to secondary school and start dating and they start exploring what a young person means to them. And then the parent's role shifts yet again in adulthood when the child becomes their own person living their own life. In addition, some parents struggle to deal with this change in roles during these transitions, and this leaves everyone acting out in unhelpful, outdated family roles. And an easy example of this situation is when adult children have struggled to launch into their adult life, or they're struggling to fly the nest because they still have this family role as a young child that needs to be protected and smothered. Also, there are times when the parents won't let go of their child, so they can't fly off into adulthood. As a result, family therapy is useful here because it helps families to change and shift into these family roles that reflect what the family actually needs and the norms of the culture. For example, a child moving out and being an adult, as well as the parent letting their child do that. Family therapy helps adult children and parents work through past hurt. So I'm no stranger to families causing each other emotional pain, but this is where family therapy can be useful. Do you see, family therapy allows families to work through the pain they've caused each other. Also, adult children tend to find it difficult to talk about negative childhood experiences with their parents, which is extremely true from my personal experience. And even when the children do talk with their parents about past hurt, the parents tend to invalidate it all by shutting it down, insisting they did their best, asking the child to be more grateful, and on and on and on. This is extremely true, and I hate it when parents do that. Because I do understand it, because everyone needs to maintain a positive self-image, but I hate it anyway. Anyway, the problem is if the adult child and parents don't resolve these issues, then the children can get angry, resentful, and hurt by their parents even more. Therefore, family therapy allows adult children and parents to have these conversations in a controlled environment where the adult child is allowed to be heard and understood, all whilst the family therapist gives the adult child and parents tools and skills to address any issues that will pop up in the future. Family therapy allows families to navigate estrangement. Whenever one family member chooses estrangement, it is often after months or years of that person attempting to resolve the family issues. Most people do ascribe a estrangement as a last resort, and it is something that they only do when there is no other choice, and I can understand this. Therefore, family therapy can be really useful for adult children and their parents to process a estrangement, as well as form goals for their ideal outcome that they both want, and family therapy means that they can navigate this messy and very emotional process. And when I talk about ideal outcomes, this can include talking a little more and then the communication increasing over time. It can be working towards having a Christmas together, or working towards them having a relationship where they can get on and the parents can see their grandchildren. For example, conclusion. As we've seen in this podcast episode, family therapy isn't just for families with young children, because family therapy can help parents and adult children overcome a lot. For instance, it can help them overcome a estrangement, manage new stresses, break older cycles, deal with past hurt, and it can help them recreate outdated family roles. And if 2023 has taught me anything, it is how important and amazing their families can be when adult children and parents work together and support each other, so everyone can live a better life with less psychological distress, less emotional pain, and a lot more joy. So I really hope that you enjoyed today's episode and you got something out of it. I know that I did because originally this was meant to be the Christmas Day podcast episode, but I thought no, I just cannot do clinical psychology on Christmas Day because that's just a bit heavy at times. Even this quite light stuff about how hopeful and how great family therapy can be, I just didn't want to do that Christmas Day. But I think this is a great way to kick off the new year. And if you know someone who would enjoy today's episode, then please share it with them. I'm always really grateful when you wonderful people help spread the word about the podcast. And if you want to learn more about psychology, then definitely check out the Psychology World magazine, available in all of the usual places. And if you want to become a patron, then you now can at patreon.com/the Psychology World podcast, or you can buy me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/Conor Whiteley. So happy New Year, everyone, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for listening today. I hope you found it helpful. Please remember to like the video and subscribe to the YouTube channel and follow the podcast on your favourite podcast app. And if you wanted to learn more, then please check out the backlist of the podcast episodes or my books at conwhiteley.net. So have a great day and I'll see you next time.